By now, you should have gotten your official sample ballot. If you haven't, reach out to your local county registrar. There are 12 offices in here that we're voting for. And although we're all excited about the race for governor, there's 11 other offices that we may not know what they do, so I thought I would just go through them really quickly and let you know. So after governor is, of course, lieutenant governor, and the lieutenant governor doesn't just sit around waiting for the governor to go out of town, even though that's one of their jobs. They also sit on and have appointment power for boards, and so that's an important job as well. And they can be from different parties. They do not run together on the same ticket like a president and a vice president. Next is the Secretary of State. That's the chief clerk overseeing all the elections in the state. And they're responsible for maintaining the voter rolls. It's a really important job here in California. They've got to keep the database of registered voters. And if you've been following the news, you realize that we may have some work to do there. The controller is the chief financial officer. Now that's more than just the treasurer. They actually have what I call a super cool job. They maintain the database of unclaimed funds. So there's one for each state. So if you have ever lived in a state or worked in a state, you might want to, or had family in a state, you might want to check the controller's office to see the unclaimed funds. This is the page that has all that batch of offices on it. The treasurer is really in charge of investment and finance. And that person should have a clue about that huge unfunded pension liability that we have that's about to explode here in California. So they're important. The Attorney General, and we have 4 choices for that, they oversee the California Department of Justice. And it's really important not only that they are familiar with the law and in fact are a lawyer, but they're going to ensure that our laws are adequately and uniformly enforced. And that would sure be nice. The Insurance Commissioner, now this is interesting. They're called the Insurance Commissioner, but they have nothing to do with health insurance. So that has nothing to do with whether you want universal coverage or not. It's maintaining the state's insurers and making sure they're all adequate and up to the task. The next one I know I've seen before on ballots and gone, not sure what it is. The State Board of Equalization. Each of those members, as a board, they're responsible for levying and making assessments on property tax, which if you own a home, that's kind of an important job as well. Then we get to our 2-page contest for U.S. Senator. We have a lot of candidates for Senator, and we all know a Senator, every state gets 2, they go to Washington. Everyone knows a United States Representative. They're apportioned based on population. But then after that, we have State Senator and State Assembly. Yeah, I put the big arrow for me because I'm running for State Assembly. So our State Assembly is located in Sacramento, and we have an upper house and a lower house. In the upper house, we elect state senators to go there, and then the lower house we have representatives. And amazingly, because of our population, which is huge, and our state assembly legislature, which is small, our state senators actually represent more people than the people we send to Congress. So it's a pretty important job. There are only 40 of them. There are 80 state assembly members, and they're the ones who can put propositions on the ballot, and they can and do constantly amend our Constitution of California, and it's important to have representation there. So I hope that helps you out. Make sure that you've gotten your sample ballot, and because there's so many offices and propositions on it, you might want to make some notes and take it with you when you go to vote. Remember, vote June 5th.